But let's get to the other big story of the day. What's been playing out legally in the courts in Tamil Nadu as well. It's been a roller coaster day for Vijay in the Madras High Court. A lot of questions about whether his film would release or not. Ultimately, it's not going to release. Today was the day, in fact, when the hearing, when in fact the film was to be released. And let's put the images essentially of the trailer of Jananayagam. That was the film that was going to be released today. Now there's non-stop ambiguity over what's going to happen. You had essentially the Madras High Court first in the morning directing the censor board to issue a UA certificate for Vijay's final film, Jananayagam. Little did they know that victory would be short-lived, because right after that, a few hours later, the Madras High Court Chief Justice quashed that order. This was because the censor board had almost immediately approached the Chief Justice against the single judge bench order. Now, after that, the Madras High Court now, the Chief Justice has made it very clear that at no point can you go ahead and release this film without certification. In fact, the Chief Justice has also pulled up the makers of the film, Jana Nayagan, saying, why did you announce a release date when certification wasn't given? But remember that earlier today you had the Madras High Court calling complaints against the film a dangerous precedent, saying just because one member objects, can you stall the film? Now, so you're seeing two contrasting views on this particular issue. But ultimately, today, there's clarity that Jananayagam hasn't been given any certification. It's going to take time. The next hearing in this matter is slated for January 21st. So in the next 10 days, there's going to be a whole lot of questions about what happens. Meanwhile, the censor board, remember, has said that they want this to be given to a review committee. So if it goes to a review committee, it's essentially back to square one. What we'd also like to highlight here is that the film's competitor, Parasakti, which is releasing tomorrow, is on track. It's received a UA certificate today. So there were a lot of questions whether this film would get the certification. It has. The green signal for Parasakti has been given after they made 25 cuts in the film. So in one case, the film given a go-ahead will release as planned on January 10th. As far as Jananayagam goes, that's not going to happen. There's still question mark of when actually it can happen. Anaga Keshav is joining us live from outside the Madras High Court. Huge setback this for the makers of Jananayagam. Anaga, as they put it, we're talking about 500 crores being at stake. But what's their next plan? Are they planning to approach the Supreme Court in this matter?
Well, certainly that is the next legal recourse option available for the makers of the film. In fact, right in the court, the makers of the film had requested the judge to upload the order copy as soon as possible. That is a tacit hint that the next legal course is, of course, knocking the doors of the Supreme Court, because the next hearing is on Jan 21. So that could mean that up until then, Jananayagam cannot find a release. So therefore, the filmmakers will be doing and making use of every single legal available option, and that could mean that they could also approach the Supreme Court. The order copy is fully yet to come, and once it comes, we'll really know if that is the next step that the filmmakers are going to take. But certainly today, it's a huge setback for the filmmakers of Jananayagam. They've invested 500 crore rupees. They also mentioned that in the court. In fact, the court has completely lashed on at the makers of the film by asking how come they went ahead to release the film without even having a censor certificate in hand. But like you rightly pointed out earlier, every single filmmaker announces a release date even before having a censor certificate. So this sounds like a one-off case, is what many people who are supporting the film are now questioning. Number two, the court also said it questioned the single bench for quashing the order of the chairman of CBSE, and also questioned that why is it that enough time was not really given to censor board today, and what was the hurry in passing the order is what the court has also questioned. So indeed a huge setback for Jananayagam and its filmmakers.
And there are so many questions now about what happens next, what will happen to, when the film actually releases. This is Vijay's last film. Let's say it's pushed by 2 months. That's too close to an election. And with all the political symbolism involved, that could mean serious trouble and a lot more cuts, way more cuts for the film. Thanks very much, Anaga, for joining us with all of those details.